Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m., January 12th. Yesterday was nuts. You had a hot CPI print, and the market initially went up and then came crashing down and then went all the way back up. Okay, so the market kind of like priced in the move and then it got bought back up because the overall theme is bullish, I guess. Not I guess, that's what the overall theme has been. Okay, so we broke some key levels in the NASDAQ and we popped back up though. Now, today, there's been bad bank earnings this morning. Okay, a bunch of earnings reporting lower revenue, missing EPS, and United Healthcare also showed medical costs are going higher. They're down 5% right now. That's also taken down CVS and certain other sympathy plays. Okay, I believe United Airlines reported as well. No, they didn't report. I could have swore I saw it. Maybe it was Delta. I can look at the list a little later. But a lot of earnings came out today, this morning. A lot of them were not the best. Okay, so what do we have today? We have PPI data coming out. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Obviously, CPI is the more eyeballs are on that one. All right. No. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe or set an alert. That would help me out. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. Help me out. And as always, you can follow me on X at Gonzo719. Alright, now, did this in reverse order today, but welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the market, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand. Most trade the price of the month, the week, the preceding day. It just helps me with structure. That's really all it does. I can look at it quickly and see who's in charge, the bulls or the bears, right? And how do I want to express that on a trade that day, right? And then I wait for my setups. That's how it works, right? So, with that in mind, all right, what's going to look at the futures watch list here? We got PPI data dropping at 8:30. Let's get into the watch lists. Okay, so crude. Well, crude was up a lot more before. It's up over 4%. But there's the crude bottoming out. I kept on talking about bottoming out, right? So it's been consolidating for a while inside of a range. And consolidating inside of a range, right? The VIX is a little elevated. It's up 2.89%. Ether is up 2.88%. Now the Bitcoin ETF approval, that was yesterday. So a lot of money flowed into those ETFs. Mara, I guess, saw love and then got destroyed. It's also down 4.15% right now. All right. Now what I've heard is that now that you have ETFs, you don't need to put money in Mara and stocks like that because now it's going to follow spot Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm not a big crypto head. I know my friend Rosita is, but this is just what I've been hearing. Okay, so silver. I know there's been stuff going on, geopolitical wise, war wise. All right, that I think is pushing gold and silver because the dollar is up, and generally the dollar is up, metals go down. So gold and silver seeing some love today. The dollar is up. Russell is flat. Okay, 30-year bonds actually being sold this morning. Should send the 10-year yield higher. This is probably because of financials. ES is down 0.3. Nasdaq's down 0.37. The Dow is down 0.45. Bitcoin's down almost 1%. Okay, maybe profit taking. Interesting. Let's move over to the stocks I like to swing and day trade. Now, JP Morgan, I believe, had bad earnings that I saw a little bit ago. I could be wrong on that. Um, I don't know what's causing the spike up. Maybe I missed something, but maybe someone else can tell me. So JP Morgan. Now Netflix also just got a price target raise or some cover, and I will go over that. But that's I was looking at that too, around 480 and below, and that stock's very volatile. So all right, so now we got a bunch of laggards here. Okay, Boeing finally, like from 230. Right, that was an important level on Boeing, and it kind of hung around, and finally is dropping more. Okay, so that's one drop from 230 to 220. That's $10. Okay, over that hole in their airplane opening up. Snow got a downgrade today. That's why Snow is down 1.85%. Roblox is down 2.29%. Coins down 2.52. Tesla's getting obliterated. Tesla is getting obliterated. They talked about giving everybody raises. Obviously, that's going to put damper on revenue. Okay. And now I think they just said they're going to raise a price on one of their models. I'm not sure, but it's getting obliterated. So there was a level around 232 to around that level was support in Tesla. That's been broken and even going down farther now. So Tesla not looking so hot. All right, so let's go to here. Qualcomm. I've been looking at this. Okay, they just got upgrade. So Qualcomm got an upgrade. Now look at Chevron and Exxon today with this war stuff going on in the Red Sea, I believe. So Exxon and Chevron are getting love today. Okay. And down to here, United Healthcare. I believe I saw high medical costs. Okay, this is something they talked about in the past. Okay, dropped all the way down to close to $500 pre-market. Now it's at 512. Okay, that's a pretty mighty drop from 540. All right, so that is a little dent into United Healthcare. Okay, some sympathy plays in CVS are also down. Okay, now let's go into sectors. And I might show a new watch list that I have been putting up here in a second here. But let's move over to sectors. So the love is into energy, obviously, up 1.22%. And we got a bunch of laggards, but the big ones are semis, healthcare. Now, United Healthcare, just to let everybody know, that is the largest holding in the Dow. That's why the Dow was the weakest this morning. Okay. Discretionary, weakest sector. Why? Tesla. Tesla and Amazon, Home Depot, largest holdings. Okay. Now, if I go back to this watch list, this is just a bunch of stocks then I've been looking at to swing trade as well. So if we go to this list, and just quickly, there's a bunch of stocks in here. Okay. So the top of this list is Citigroup, which I had earnings, right? But if you notice, this is Harley Davidson, I believe, Hog. But Devon Energy, these are energies, right? Twilio's not energy. Hess, ConocoPhillips, energy, right? That's the leaders. It would make sense, right? Now the laggards, Humana, that's healthcare. This is, I believe, Delta Airlines, right? They reported earnings. Those are the ones that I was looking for before. Yeah, see, they reported earnings. So they're down 5%. Humana is down 5%. Alaska Airlines and Sympathy is down 5%. Mara is down 4.33%. United Airlines, look at that. See, so you got airlines, bad. Sympathy plays. Healthcare, Lucid. It's vehicles, right? Automobiles. All right, Southwest. All right, Unity Software. Snowflake got a downgrade. So this is what's going on in there, just to show you a quick. Um, I'm gonna go back to what I normally look at. Okay, so that's that. That's what we got going on now. Right now, where the market is, it is in a dead man zone. All right, we can get right over to. We got 10 minutes till news drops, but let's get over to our calendar. Not sure who's with me this morning. I know I dropped off the face of the earth for a while because of this flu, which still is in my system, but it's finally starting. I'm starting to get some um, lung capacity back. Thank God. So let's look at today. We got core PPI year over year. What are we looking at? Forecast for 2, previous 2. Okay. Headline numbers, PPI year over year. We're looking for a forecast of 1, previous 0.9. So they're looking for an uptick in PPI. All right. Consensus is actually 1.3. You had Fed Kashkari speaking at 10 a.m. Okay, so you got Fed Kashkari at 10 a.m., 30 minutes after the market opens. Should be interesting, right? So PPI, really have to check if that's really red hot, what that does to the market, right? That's the costs for businesses, right? Now we talked about, here's some upgrades. Really quickly go over these. I just want to go to the most notables. Upgrade Qualcomm, right? Qualcomm went from a neutral to a buy. Upgrade. Price target 160. Okay. Twilio. That's also why that was up. That also got an upgrade from neutral to overweight. Okay. Downgrades. When we're talking about downgrades here. All right. Are you talking about Gary Gensler? Okay. So we got downgrades. Snowflake. I'm just going on notable ones. And coverage initiated on Nokia, but coverage resumed on CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, US Steel. And this is the reiterated price target change. Netflix has a price target change from 475 to 600. Okay. Also, TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, also got a price target raise from 85 to 95. Okay, some financials. Some financials, like I just said before, had some poor earnings. So here's some headlines, right? Bank earnings disappoint so far. U.S. index weaken. Tanker owner Tom pauses all transits to southern Red Sea, like I talked about for crude. This Bank of Japan is widely expected to maintain ultra easy settings. So Citi sees net reduction in headcount of 20K over medium term. Maybe that's why they're getting a pop. All right. And look at this. Jamie Dimon. Looks like he's saying inflation may be stickier than market expects. Rates may be higher than market expects. He says a lot of things, though. And BlackRock thinks sees first rate cut happening in June, even though the rate cuts are still priced in for March. Okay. But John Curtis, welcome to my channel. Not sure how far you've been watching me, but welcome to my channel. What else we got here? That's about all I had to see there. We can go over to the market profile. You're going to see what I mean by there's not much to report here. Okay? There's just not a lot to report here because we're in the middle of the muddle. All right? Actually, I'm sorry, I skipped the part here. Skip the part. Let's just look at the daily charts real quick. All right, really quick. Here's our spot. Let's zoom into here. All right, so what did we do? Yesterday, we came all the way down to the 20-day simple moving average, the backside of this trend line, and we found buyers, right? Where are we at now? 475. So we are in the middle of yesterday's range, right? So right there tells you not a good place to be, right? In the middle of yesterday's range doesn't give you any type of edge at all. Okay, that's where we are. Qs. What do we do with the Qs? Right? Came all the way up, broke the previous day's high, came all the way down past the 20-day simple moving average, and then got bought up, right? Closed right by the previous day's highs. Now, where are we at there? We're at 408, right in the middle of yesterday's range. That's what I'm talking about. There's not a lot of edge to that. That's you're just looking to get chopped up there. Okay? Not really liking it today. Previous days, I liked the setups. Okay? Not really liking that. So, just real quick, we'll look at the bond market. 10-year yield. Let's look at that together. That is in a range. Okay? Holding underneath the 200-day moving average. Okay? The lower these go, the market goes up. It's usually they have inverse correlation. We'll just have to see. Okay? All right. Now we can move over to the market profile and look at some structure, and you can just see right off the bat why I use these levels. Okay, so moisture. Let me get my marker out. All right. So, John, this is ES and SPY. Obviously, ES is futures. It's just futures. SPY is the ETF. So they track pretty much the same. So when I talk about the futures right now, it will be the same as the SPY. But let's look at why I use the structure I use, why I look at market profile, volume profile, right? So we're looking at market profile and volume profiles. All right, price is right here right now, 48.02. Okay. Now, first thing that jumps off. Welcome, man. No problem. No problem. I don't know how much you know about market profile and volume profile. Okay. But we'll just go over it, right? So basically, this is each, real quickly for John, each profile, just like this. One is the real-time trading hours, which is when the market opens and closes, and the other is an overnight. So that's the beauty of the market profile. I can see what happens overnight, and then I can see what happens, the RTH, the regular trading hours. So that's basically all that is. Is just, this is a picture, this is a big candlestick. That's all that is. Okay. Now, here's the most traded price of the last month, right here. Okay, it's around 48.13. Here's the most traded price of the last week. That's where price is now. When you're ever in between these levels, you're looking at Chop City. That's why I said, just to SPY when I said we're in the middle of yesterday's range. So here's yesterday's range. Here's price. Here's the midpoint of yesterday. That's where we're at. There's a lot of indecision. All this shows is indecision. This shows indecision. Okay. We got bad bank earnings. United Healthcare had medical costs, right? There's some downgrades today. Tesla's dropping, right? We just had a hot CPI number. Now that's the PPI number that just dropped. Okay, we'll look at that. I'll go to that real quick. We'll just see the results of that PPI number. You notice a little volatility in the market. So let's just look at that really quickly. All right, what do we have here? So let's go to the PPI year over year. All right, so in line with the forecast. The forecast was 1. Actual 1. Okay. Core PPI. Core PPI forecast was 2. It came under 1.8. Okay, 1.8. So this is the flip to the CPI. CPI was hot, PPI is not. So very, very interesting, right? This is a little bullish, right? Anything the market hears that's bullish, because people are bullish, is going to drive it more higher. Okay. If we go back, now we see price is rising. Okay. I'll put it out here. These are 30-minute bars. We'll make it a little bigger here. This is from PPI right here, this shot. So producers are paying less. Okay. That's bullish, right? So you're getting a nice push up here. Like I said, each one of these is just 30-minute bars, and then when I collapse it, it's a profile. That's all. Just like that. Okay. So let's go over what we're seeing, right? Price is still in this crappy price that I believe is going to cause traffic. Okay. Needs to break out of that. And it will. And it will. Okay, it definitely will. All right, so let's just look about what happened yesterday, right? Opened here, pushed up, and then fell off a cliff, right? Now, another thing I like this to look at. Look where it landed. Monthly VWAP is right here. So see, it came down to monthly VWAP, bounced right off, and this demand right here. That's where the bounce happened. Okay. And monthly VWAP, just have it on my thing. So for this month, buyers are in control. When this is green, buyers are in control. This is also a weekly VWAP. Buyers are in control. Okay. So, but I already knew that. I don't need to tell you that. But it's just good to have on the chart. Look where the overnight low came, right to the week-to-date VWAP, right? So here's yesterday's range, high and the lows. Here's the midpoint. Okay. Here's the overnight session. Here's the overnight high. Here's the overnight low. And we're very balanced. Not an edge there. Okay. There's no edge there at all. All right. What we got to do when you're in this area is chop. It's going to call an inside out. You're going to go from the inside and you're going to push out to one of these edges. You're going to test one of these edges. And then it's for the market to determine if you revert back to the mean or there's a breakout. Okay. So the longer we stay in this area like this, we're coiling up for a big move. That's all that means. Okay. There's not a lot of edge here at all. So I'm going to very simply state what the scenarios are for today. Okay. You got a supply zone here. You got demand down here. Okay. You're in this middle of the muddle here. So really quickly, we'll go over some scenarios of what I'm going to look for. All right, so let's look at that. All right, so what I'm looking at for today is an inside out move. All right, so you're going to test, most likely, either you can't get out of this supply zone, right? That would be one to fall back in. But if we're looking for bullish scenarios, right? So I'm going to start with the bullish scenario. So if we come back up, here's one, right? You break the supply, you hold. You could try to make a move up. Okay, you got shorts in here. That's one. Okay, the next one is if we move this way, test the overnight lows in the week-to-date VWAP, and you recover it, that also could make a move go higher. Okay, number 3, we come all the way down, test this month-to-date VWAP and this demand again, and then if you catch buyers, you can make the move again. Okay, that's for the bulls, right? Let's look at the bears. I already gave you one. is if you can't get out of the supply and you come through, you're going to test the overnight lows and can test down here. Okay. Also, you can push up to the edge. Got supply up here. Can also come down and push down, right? Now, I don't know if you do this. This is just scenarios, right? And if you do, this is ultimate bear. You do break through these and hold, you're going to go down here to 47.30. And again, this is all if then. This is not predictions. Okay, but this is just what I'm looking for. All right, because right now there's no edge right now for me unless we touch these edges. Okay. Okay. That is the ES. Okay. Now we're going to look at the NASDAQ. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ together. Look at structure. Let's see if it's the same or let's see if it's different. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. It looks similar, right? Let's look at some structure here. We have a similar situation here. Now remember, NASDAQ doesn't have financials, doesn't have healthcare. So it's going to be stronger than the SPY. It's going to be stronger, okay? That will be the weakest because United Healthcare. All right, so let's look at this structure. Here's the last week. What a range, right? What a range, okay? But however, here's the most traded price of the month. Here's the most traded price of the week. Where's price? In the middle of these big levels. Right, this is indecision. So the market's showing you. But the Qs, like I said, don't have financials or healthcare. So Tesla, I will see, can have a weight down on it. But other big factors like Microsoft and Apple aren't like really super weak. Okay. So let's look at yesterday. Came all the way up to here, all the way down to here, right? Here's the overnight here. Inside yesterday, right? Like I said, not an indecision. It's a very indecisive market. Okay. And I do believe we're going to test these edges. Now, there's not a lot of edge here. All right. Another thing I like to talk about sometimes is inventory. How short and how long are we overnight? Well, this is no longer an edge. That was how much we were long. That was it. To this much short. If we were down here, I'd be like, ooh, this is nice because everybody's short overnight. But guess what? We went all the way back up to here. So that's not even an edge. See what I mean? It's indecisiveness in this market. Okay, even this, as this push higher, it just makes this profile more balanced. Indecisive. Okay. So the name of the game here in the Nasdaq, I'll talk about some nuance here. This is a weak high here. Okay, you have an overnight high here, and you have yesterday's high. So that could be a point where is resistance, or we break out of there. Okay. One to note here is the overnight low, and you have the most traded price and the 20-day simple moving average on the daily and the 9 EMA on the daily, right here, as long with week-to-date VWAP right here. So right here is a place to defend for the Nasdaq. Needs to defend this area. If it does, you're probably going to move higher. If it doesn't, you're going to probably test yesterday's lows and maybe test the monthly VWAP and come down here, okay? So if we go for scenarios here, let's do some scenarios for the Nasdaq, okay? It's a little different because the most traded price of the week and the month are more separated, right? But we still use them. We still use them here. So let's go for the bullish, right? What I'd like to see, I'm not a fan of really getting long up in here. I would like to see this market pull back. Test this area here. This area, okay? As this week-to-day VWAP rises up here, this could be all confluence. Even if you whip down and come across here, this could be a good place for the market to move higher. Okay, this is not as um, uh, this is reality here. So what I can also talk about, if this market pushes up through this supply, the most traded price of the month, and rips up to this week high and maybe comes back down and pulls back, that's a possibility to go higher as well. Okay. Now, if we look at the bearish side of the game, right? First thing you want to notice, there's supply here. There's also supply here, with the most traded price of the month up here and this week high. Okay. So what the market could do also is push up, try, if it pokes its head above, hits supply, and can't sustain value above the most traded price of the month, which is 17,000, and comes back down, holds, you can find yourself moving back down to the most traded price of the week, overnight low, right? And you may possibly test this week to day VWAP. And if you hold down here, hold, we're going to probably test yesterday's lows. If we get farther weakness, we drop down here to 16,650. Okay, we have monthly VWAP here, but this is a demand zone and a naked VPOC that we could land back on. Naked VPOCs are just most traded prices of the day that have never been touched. Okay, so that's really what I see happening. So for me, there's not much to do when the market opens besides, looking these edges to get tested, right? Up here, what do? See what the market tells us. Does it fall back, right? Or if it comes down here, here's the other test. Inside here is garbage, okay? If you're a scalper, fine. But if you want to find a good risk to reward, you got to look to the edges, all right? Okay. That's going to be it for me today, all right? I'll be honest with you. You have to wait for me. I'm going to wait for these edges to be tested, okay? So it's not as clean today as it was previous days, okay, that I put trades on. So I'm going to be looking for what I told you guys, okay? Now, if you enjoyed that, subscribe, set an alert, okay? Okay. Also, give me a big thumbs up if you liked what you saw. And you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719, okay? So today's Friday. PPI just came out. We had a bunch of earnings come out. We're in the middle of the muddle. Like I said, the market doesn't really know its direction right now. All right, so that you have to wait. Right now, that tells me, what does it tell me? I have to wait till it comes to one of those edges, like I said. Then that's another analyzation happens to see what's under the hood of the market. Are we strong? Are we weak? That all comes together, right? You don't force yourself on this market. Okay, today, maybe it stays in the middle here, and it's not a great trading environment. So, that's my 2 cents. Everybody have a great weekend, and you'll see me again Monday. All right? And John, if you're still here, welcome. I didn't get to your SPY levels for confirmation on puts or calls, high and low. It's not really my style to do that. So, if you enjoyed what you saw, please come back and subscribe, all right? So, take it easy, everybody.